For years, we talked about how Ripple and the Internet of Value were building the new banking system. Everything seems to be coming true now, okay? To find out more about this, we've been studying it and keeping up with it for years, and 2025 looks like the year when everything will make sense. Now is the time when we will finally understand everything, okay? Going all the way back to 2017. Ripple wrote this post about the Internet of Value, describing what it is and how it helps everyone. This gave you a general idea of the exact goals that Ripple is trying to reach. It talks about their plan to send money around the world in the same way that they send information. At this point in time, there were also not many Bitcoin projects that were really making a difference, and everything made sense. They made it clear to us what they wanted to do with blockchain technology by breaking down every inefficient part of foreign payments. The XRP system was, of course, the best blockchain. In effect, this is why a network and cryptocurrency were made. Because of this, everything makes sense when we look at what is happening now and what we see today. Do you mean 2023 again? Why am I going back to 2023? One time we go back is to the summer. We get XRP approved as something that isn't a security in July 2023. August comes around. What does Ripple do? They join the BIS CPMI group. They have a group called the Bank of International Settlements that builds the infrastructure for the cross-border payments market. Because of this, the central bank of central banks is teaming up with a blockchain-based company to make it easier for people to send money to each other around the world. In 2017, we'll talk about the Internet of Value again. What do they want to get done? Foreign money transfers. After that, everything made sense. Ripple worked with some of the biggest groups like the IMF, and then they joined forces with the BIs in 2023. Ripple is opening the way for them to become the main force behind the Internet of Value over time. After buying Metaco, they were able to get a lot of big-name stars to join. Additionally, they have bought several more companies since then, such as Hidden Road. By building the Internet of Value, Bout and Ripple have made it possible for money to be sent around the world in the same way that information is sent in this day and age. Our goal is to come up with new crypto solutions for a global market that doesn't stop at national borders. With Ripple's blockchain technology, global financial institutions, corporations, governments, and developers can move, control, and tokenize money. This helps everyone around the world get more business opportunities. Tokenization is, in fact, the most important part of all of this. The homepage of the Ripple website says, "We have updated your financial infrastructure. Down here, we have steady money, cash, and payments." Yes, fast payments, assets, tokenization, blockchain, and Bitcoin are all having effects on people all over the world right now. It's happening right now. We also have their user page down here. However, the most important thing I want to talk about here and show you is how important XRP is to everything. Okay, now let's talk about the money side of things. I believe that banks saw tokenization, or at least something that was linked to it. From here, I can't see it under the rocks. It might have been a fintech. Look at this. No, there is parenting involved. Maybe it's companies that deal in cryptocurrencies. Crossword payments, stable cash, and payout networks are all part of this. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with tokenization like it did before, but I know that XRP is the best network for tokenization in general. Some changes have been made since my last check, but if we look at what's going on, we can see that almost everything Ripple does involves XRP and the XRPL. A lot of people have told me, oh no, they're trying to replace XRP, especially with the stablecoin. The stablecoin backs up XRP's main use case, which has always been like linking transaction payments. They also need a neutral bridge currency when there are a lot of stablecoins. The Ripple platform is also fully controlled around the world. As of right now, Ripple has already applied to 11 governments that are still studying it. We can see that they are following the rules, and they have 64 valid licenses and MTLs right now. They are also a part of the American Bankers Association, and the Payment Association work together with the BIS, which works with SWIFT and a few other big players. They also work with hundreds of banks that I haven't even named yet. It's crazy that people don't notice this anymore, don't you think? The most crazy thing about this is probably the stable coins, right? We are aware that steady coins are big right now. This speeds up and lowers the cost of sending money across borders. Stable currencies make up the Internet of Value, are an important part of the value-based internet. They are now making it possible for payments to happen at the same speed as information. Here is the statement from MasterCard. It comes from the company, by the way. We can now see and trust digital goods more than ever before since the Genius Act was passed. One that we've been getting ready for years. We looked into how stable coins could make current payment systems better and add to them in both traditional and cryptocurrency environments. It's MasterCard again. This company is one that almost everyone knows about. There is now talk of a new age for digital assets. They talk about stablecoins and cryptocurrencies and how they will truly improve and add to the ways we pay for things now. The most ridiculous thing about it is that Trump just told us what they are doing with cryptocurrency. The dollar is going to get a crypto makeover. The banking system is many years behind the times. By replacing America's old payment lines with cutting-edge crypto technology, the new smart law will strengthen the dollar and fight back against BRICS. This has always been Ripple's goal. People may still be talking about how flawed the banking system is because it has always been flawed even if we come back here. When we think about it, the existing financial system is very inefficient. You shouldn't send money all over the world. Because of this, the universe will grow very large over the next few years if we think about what this will do and what is already happening. It all starts with states using technology. That's exactly what the US is going to do. Look at this. The banking system is based on technology that is decades or even years old, but many Americans don't know this. Money transfers and payments are expensive and can take days or even weeks to process, but Paul and others are trying to fix the problem. With this step, the whole old system would be able to get a new makeover using the latest cryptography technology. I met you for the first time 2 years ago. Who would have thought that we would be saying that now? The Genius Act effectively boosts and supports the dollar by giving banks, businesses, and other financial institutions a way to issue cryptocurrency assets that can be exchanged for US dollars, treasury bills, and other cash equivalents. A lot of Americans also don't know about that going on behind the scenes. When we think about what's going on here, most people in the world don't know how broken our banking system is because we've been hiding it for years. That means we have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, and a lot of other great-sounding options. But what's wrong with them is that they're just a user experience. These are just pretty user interfaces that don't change anything behind the scenes. Because of this, it still takes days for the money to settle. The fees are still very high. Also, the level of openness is terrible. This means that our tracks still need to be improved. And that is exactly what this is doing. Over here, David Sachs is, and President Trump keeps making history by winning big. Today, the Genius Act was signed into law. It sets the stage for stable currency. This bill will help the United States take over the cryptocurrency market by setting clear rules and ending the 4-year-old policy of regulating by prosecution. A new, cutting-edge payment system built on blockchain will be put in place of the old payment rails. The US dollar will also remain the most important currency in the world economy by creating a digital dollar that can be used by anyone, anywhere in the world. For every digital dollar in a cryptocurrency wallet, a real dollar will be saved in a US bank account. This will create a market for US Treasury securities worth trillions of dollars. President Trump promised to do something important, and now he has done it. But as if that wasn't enough, the House has passed explanation. President Trump has said that he will back the market structure bill as it goes through the Senate. President Trump kept his promise to make the US the center of cryptocurrency around the world. Thank you for being a leader, President Trump. Yes, pay attention. This is where it all starts. The new banking system in the United States is now being put into place. We've been talking about this subject for a very long time. The most crazy thing about it all is that 93% of people in the world don't even have cryptocurrency. They have no idea what cryptocurrency is. Crypto is something they don't.